I had an amazing childhood. I had great parents. My mom was like very easygoing, but at the same time really tough. My dad was really strict, but I had the best of both worlds. Yeah, like we weren't rich, but we weren't poor. You know, you could tell my parents anything, but they were very, you know what I mean? They didn't put up with like just letting us do whatever. We never went without. My mom always had our back. We were always number one to both of our parents. Like, yeah, I come from a really good family. The most stands out with Christmas with my dad in New York. Just like he's really strict and like military, so he doesn't smile and like And it was just a really good Christmas. I never seen him so happy, so that was dope. It was a good Christmas. And the Christmas that he surprised us when he came to Victoria. Yeah, those are both because my parents were together. They divorced when I was like 2, but those are 2 Christmases they came together. So it was a good Christmas.
Are you in touch with your family still?
Yeah, I'm in touch with my mom. We're growing a little bit apart, and my dad died when I was 16.
Sorry to hear that. How about your siblings?
I have an older sister and a younger brother, and yeah, they're really good. And my sister has a son, and my brother has a daughter, and there's single parents. And yeah, they raise their kids. They have good kids, and that's it. I'm close to both of them. My brother I haven't talked to in a long time because I chose a different path in life, and he doesn't agree with it.
What's the path you chose?
I chose to kind of do my own thing, and because he's against any kind of drugs, and I chose, you know what I mean? I had that in my life. That's basically the truth. He doesn't like that. It's just he doesn't tolerate it at all.
How long have you been on the streets?
7 years. 8 years.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? I had a boyfriend that was on the streets, and I was working, and I met him, and I couldn't take care of both of us anymore, and I ended up on the streets with him.
What have you learned about being on the streets and like how different it is from your life before?
It's not a place for women. The streets are terrible for women. And the one thing I did is like, I'll never have any regrets in life. I met a lot of people that, you know what I mean, I would have never met in life. I met some of the most amazing people out here. So I want to take that for what it is and leave the streets, you know what I mean? I don't want to give my life to it, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Meeting these people taught me a lot, and I've met all walks of life, you know, the richest, the toughest, the poorest, and this is an experience I love. I just don't want it to ruin my life, being out here, and women should not be on the streets. It's degrading, it's terrible, and it's not a good place for women. I've always felt for myself, I'm the only one that kind of stands up for myself, and that's okay. I don't need anyone to fight for me, but I don't look like a victim kind of thing, you know what I mean? So it's like when something happens, people are like, oh, she can handle it herself, she can take care of herself, so I just learned to handle it myself and take care of myself. I try and stay in touch with my family, but I just kind of distanced myself in the last little while just because it got traumatic, and I don't want to bring that on them. But I can always go back to my family. I've never burnt a bridge in my life, so I can always call them if I need them, but I don't want to bring them into this life. And now I'm just trying to get back on my feet by looking for a better place and quitting doing this. I'm trying to quit doing this stuff, so yeah.
Is it hard quitting?
I'm 50 days sober today. Well, off down, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's 41.
Still, that's an amazing amount of time. To kind of just give a perspective on what's it like living on the streets that people might not always understand.
It's really degrading. People like judge you, they put you down, the washroom, you know what I mean? Like, we're human. We all have to go to the washroom no matter what, you know what I mean? And so it is. And it also takes a toll on some people if you're not strong enough to handle it, because then they treat you less of a person. You sort of feel like you're less of a person. And then you know what I mean? You can just like waste away that way, or sometimes you can beat it and come back off the streets. It's really, really hard because they say there's a lot of resources, but there's not. Once you're down on the streets, they make a lot of money off homeless people. So to keep people homeless on the streets that's what they want. They don't really want to help people out there. So you gotta just help yourself. Women need definitely a chance, like definitely with their kids. I think that the whole definitely taking your child away and like judging them because they did dope or because they had their first child taken away, that's a huge factor. I know a lot of women that love their kids so much, and that's why they're out here. They're not like they didn't lose their kid because they're drug addicts. They're drug addicts because they lost their kid. And I think women need more support in being a parent because nobody's going to love your child like you do. and I honestly believe that. And so I think that women need more support in that, and not being so judgmental towards their lifestyle. Like I said, I don't have a lot of regrets. I've been hurt and like tried to be hurt in some ways, but it didn't affect me. I got hurt when I was a kid by somebody like a bad person, and I just kind of just left it alone. I told my family when I was older, and they didn't understand it, and I learned that it's something that people don't understand. So it's best to keep it by yourself if you can. Just, you know what I mean. It sounds harsh, but it is something that it just hurts another loved one to know what you're, you know what I mean, that you're hurt. So it's uncomfortable, and it's so.
What do you do for work? What are your passions? What do you like to
What
do?
are my passions? Honestly, right now it's, I don't know why, but like it's just kids. Like um, I started helping like these kids with some things, and then all of a sudden it just became like my nephew. Like, my niece and nephews are all getting like to that age that I don't know. I just love kids, so I want to do something with kids.
That's amazing.
Do you see kids on the streets ever? Like you talked about having.
I've seen
Female
kids on the
friends.
streets before, but like I've never talked to them, but like I've seen it before, and I wouldn't like they never come around because no one I know would ever let a kid around scene, like, you know what I mean, when they're doing any kind of drug or just anything like that. So no, and you're not allowed in shelters at that age either. So no, I've seen a homeless kid, but I've never really I've hung out with one or talked to one really. I think a child would protect a child. I think that some people would, but I don't think that people really would help a child like they help their own. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you're a mom, it's really weird. I actually did notice that a lot of people don't. They don't find your kid cute like you do. You know what I mean? They don't think that, you know what I mean, they're gonna help like you do. They're not gonna understand like you do. And like, they don't think what they do is adorable like you do. So it's different. Yeah, no, people don't help that much with kids. And it doesn't make them a bad person. They just don't really, you know what I mean? I guess. Do you think people help kids?
I feel like everyone would. I'd hope that everyone would. Like if they saw a child in need, they'd put the child's needs above their own, even if that
yeah.
kid wasn't their own.
You'd think so. Yeah. Especially if they don't have kids. It's kind of a sad truth that I've had to realize lately. That's one thing that kind of bothers me that I think about a lot, but it's actually not really true. They don't help kids. There needs to be more things to help kids.
There's also a concept of family on the streets. How when you trust someone, they become family to you.
Yeah.
Is that true for you?
Yeah, that's pretty true. Like I have a couple good friends that are be my friends out here, but I don't really trust a lot of people out here just because I have different morals. Like I have little things that like you just don't steal from family, like these little things. But I also understand when you're an addict that you do take things, and it doesn't matter to have that stuff as much as have that friend that needed something. You know what I mean? So it kind of goes both ways, but I don't agree on letting that happen as a friend. So no, I don't really have family out here that I call family because we just have different morals. But I understand where they come from, and I don't judge them.
I can tell you are a very strong woman. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it seems like you understand people and you still care about them, even though we're kind of all going through our own path and still discovering life. And even though some things aren't right, it's just like you sound like you're still encouraged to, even like you've gone 41, 50 days now, so clean, and just like your continuous like strive to go a different path, I think is admirable.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying really hard, and especially just the outside thing sucks. Because like being outside is my hardest thing. So I'm trying to find a place, but you have to be sober to do that. And once I get in that place, I know I can be sober. I just got to get there.
Is there something you want people to know about you? Something that people misunderstand about you, and you want to correct that?
I guess I'm stubborn in the way that I'm like, if you don't get me, then I don't really, you know what I mean? I can't do much about that. But people portray, I think I'm like a mean person, or just maybe because of my appearance or how I am, or how I deliver messages. But if you know that I'm in your corner, you know that I'm the nicest person and I'll do anything for you, you know what I mean? Like once you get to know me, people are just like, she's like, you know what I mean? The greatest person. Like my friends are all my best friends, like my family. And, but everyone thinks I'm mean, like when they first like meet me or some, like, you know, because I come across, I guess, I don't know, like me and my girlfriend one time we were just like, let's see it. Like she's like a little blonde girl and she's like just said the same thing and then I said the same thing and everyone's like, oh my god, like what's up tripping out on us, like, and we're like, see, it does happen. Like we just kept doing it and like it's like when I say a sentence I come across mean and they come across like they're just saying it, you know what I mean? So it's just the way I come across, I guess. I wish people could understand that I'm not that much of a bitch. It'd save a lot of time.
Is there someone in your life who, you know, showed you love in an unfathomable way, or you know, who helped you get to a place of peace and love?
The
It's
most
not
genuine
always.
love is from a child, though. Like these kids, like this everything that's happened to me. I've never had anyone stick up for me like them. Like the things that they say is unbelievable. Like I can't believe them. And nothing can change their mind when they decide if a person is a good person. They stand by it. Like you know, and like it's so many. You can see so many people, adults, sway their perception of you or their opinion of you because of what everybody else says. But a child never does that. Like they don't. Like if they think you're great, they think you're great. They might not even say it. They might just roll their eyes, but they'll always stick up for you. And I've met these kids, and they just have the most unconditional love for me, and they're so thankful, like for me helping them. And I'm like, I am so blessed to know you. Like, you know what I mean? I like tell their parents, I'm like, you are so lucky to have these kids. Like, they are so amazing, and you have no idea what these kids are made of. Like, they are impressive. Like, definitely, I'm not gonna like bring it up, but like my nephew just going through some things with his family and stuff, and like it was like really really bad. Like it was probably the worst thing I've seen a child go through. And then I remember he was in a decision we couldn't, and it was a bad day. And then he's just like, Auntie, he's like, sometimes you just have to have faith. And like I was like, holy, like this is one of those things that you just want to hate the world for and feel sorry for yourself. And I couldn't believe he said that. It was just yeah. None of us knew what to do anymore. All of us adults were like stressed out, exhausted. It was just going so bad and we couldn't fix it. And he's like, Auntie, sometimes you just have to have faith. And it just shows you like a child just doesn't, and it's not until adults that we really start to feel sorry for ourselves or like, you know what I mean? Not get it. There's always hope as a child.
If
I
you
love
could
that.
say something to your younger self, what would you say?
To my younger self,
If you could go back in time right now.
I don't know what I'd say. I have no idea what I'd say. Just, I don't know. Make smarter decisions. Younger, I don't know. My younger self, like how young?
13.
14?
Yes.
Go to college and have babies. Like, just prepare for that. Don't just like, yeah. I wasted too much time kind of playing around.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, but I'm 42. And now I really want kids after meeting these kids, but I think it's a little late. So I want to adopt, but I don't know if, like I have plans to adopt, but I just don't know if now it's going to go through because of like personal reasons. So, yeah. So I'm kind of in the middle of that right now.
Is there anything else you'd like to share? Anything else?
No, not a lot. That's it. Probably, but if you're going to put it on YouTube, definitely. I love your question about do you think there's a lot of people that would be put a kid before themselves, and we need more people like that. We definitely do. Like it's a huge problem right now, I think, and people don't understand that. Like a child, it's messed up. People don't see it, but doesn't anyone notice when there's like not that many kids around? Like I don't know if COVID happened or what happened, but I just noticed the presence of not that many kids around. You know what I mean? And people don't like. Remember when kids were when we were younger? I don't know if you guys remember, but there were so many kids, and now it's like there's just none like ever around. You don't see kids playing around, walking around. I don't think I've seen a kid today, and no one notices that. I think I saw one. It's a Saturday. I've only seen one kid today.
think about.
Everything I walk by go parks.
What's something you looking forward to? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Looking
you're
forward
good.
to.
Yeah.
I'm hoping my family can come back together. We've been through something that I think is kind of separating us, but we're also all adults. Like we're all like grown up now, so I don't know which one it is. Maybe I missed that part of separating, like you know what I mean. But like we've always done everything together, and I really miss them. And I'm just like wondering what's tearing us apart so bad. Like we were so tight, and it's just like it's not going well right now. So I'm hoping Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything will come together soon. As soon as I get a place. Yeah, home is where the heart is, so I guess we got to figure out that. Get a home first, and then our family will be there.
I just have one last question because I'm curious. Do you feel connected to who you were as a kid? When, like, do you have memories of that? Do you feel?
Yeah, I have a really good memory actually. I remember everything when I was a kid, and I do have like, I think I'm still a kid. I think I'm pretty immature, and I love that. I'm like the world's my playground, and I don't want to. I don't have kids, so I don't really have to be that responsible. Yeah. Yeah, I just that's why I think too. I'm gonna have kids for an excuse to be a kid.